Cirrus Vision SF50 Very Light Jet. This is a US-designed and built personal jet-style aircraft, a single-engine turbofan, seating up to about 7 people, pressurized cabin. For a pilot who wants jet performance but in a smaller package, this is one of the more accessible options. Features advanced safety. For example, the whole airframe parachute caps in the earlier Cirrus models and safety advances carry through. Good snapshot of what personal aircraft means beyond simple piston planes. Things to consider: cost of acquisition and operating costs, fuel, maintenance, hangar, pilot training are significantly higher than single-engine piston aircraft. You'll need a jet type rating or appropriate training and checkouts. Airport and runway requirements. Although smaller than large business jets, you still need good infrastructure.
History and development. The Vision SF50 was originally developed by Cirrus Aircraft, Duluth, Minnesota. The project began around the early 2000s with the goal of offering a personal jet for owner pilots. On the 3rd of July 2008, the prototype made its first flight. Certification via the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, was awarded on the 28th of October 2016. The first customer delivery occurred on the 19th of December 2016. The Vision jet has been quite successful. By late 2024, the SF50 had become the most delivered business jet model globally for several years. The development had some hurdles. Funding issues during the 2009 recession slowed progress, etc.
Design and key features, layout and structure. Single-engine turbofan Williams FJ33 series mounted above and behind the fuselage. Low-wing monoplane, composite carbon fiber construction for much of the airframe. Distinctive V-tail design, though subsequent generations may have refinements. Pressurized cabin. Safety and owner-pilot friendly features. One of its significant selling points, the inclusion of the whole airframe ballistic parachute system. The Cirrus Airframe Parachute System caps for the entire aircraft. Avionics suites oriented toward owner pilots, ease of use. For example, later versions incorporate the Garmin G300 Garmin avionics with features such as auto throttle and optional safe return auto land. Performance and specifications. Here are typical numbers for baseline and later variants. Always check for the specific serial variant for exact figures. Parameter value. Maximum takeoff weight approx 6,000 pounds, around 2,720 kilograms. Empty weight approximately 3,550 to 3,600 pounds depending on configuration. Cabin width approximately 5 feet 1 in 1.55 meters. Wingspan approximately 38 feet 8 in 11.79 meters. Maximum cruise speed approximately 300 to 311 ktas for later G diversion. Service ceiling up to approximately 31,000 feet for newer variants. Range around 1,200 nautical miles in some configurations. Example mission capability. Enough to fly regional hops, think coast to coast in smaller countries or between major cities with a few passengers and comfort, and with pressurization for higher altitude flight. Why it's interesting. What makes it stand out? It occupies a niche, providing jet performance and comfort, pressurized cabin, higher altitudes, faster speed in a small package that an experienced owner pilot can realistically consider versus large business jets with professional crew. The single-engine turbofan layout. Fewer engines means lower complexity in theory and less cost relative to multi-engine jets. Composite construction and modern avionics represents a newer generation design rather than decades-old legacy jets. Safety features like the whole aircraft parachute caps give owner pilots an added comfort factor. It has achieved commercial success, showing that there is a market for personal jet as opposed to purely corporate jets. Things to consider / ownership considerations. While it is more accessible than large business jets, it is still significantly more expensive and complex than typical single-engine piston aircraft. Ownership implies elevated costs for fuel, maintenance, insurance, hangar, airport infrastructure, pilot training, etc. Pilot qualification. Even though it's designed for owner pilots, flying a jet, even AVLJ, usually requires a higher level of training, and in some jurisdictions you'll need a type rating, recurrent training, etc. Infrastructure needs suitable airports, runway length, avionics, maintenance support, etc. Some smaller general aviation airports may not fully support jet operations, noise restrictions, jet fuel availability, etc. Payload with full fuel can be limited. For example, with full fuel you may have less useful load for passengers and baggage than you'd like, so mission planning is important. Operating economics. The numbers for fuel burn, maintenance, etc., while better than large jets, still are substantial compared with piston planes. Resale market. While successful, as with any aircraft, value depends on hours, maintenance history, market demand, regulation changes, etc. Variant highlights. The original version G1 delivered starting approximately 2017. The G2 version introduced performance upgrades, higher ceiling, better avionics, improved cabin from early 2019 onwards. Later versions G2 Plus add additional improvements, for example, auto throttle, in-flight connectivity, improved performance.